Mylar, I don't have time to go through your page. We can't.
No, just listen. It would be so great, and like the people are gonna so many views. Just trust me, it'll only take a little bit of time.
No, Mylar, you've been creating content for years. We don't have time to comb through it all right now. I have a thing to do now.
It's for content. Come on, the people want to see it.
Okay, how about this? We will get to it later. I will commit to doing this, but not right now.
Fine, but I'm putting it on live so people know.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Tavern of Tomes. My name is RK Fox. I am your tavern keeper, and I am joined today by my fellow storytellers, Kent Aldrich, Sam Bowen, Christian Majewski, the one and only Rachel, Alex Oak. Did I say all of your names? I think I did.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Except for yours.
Yeah, well, I said RK Fox. It doesn't feel like enough names because there are so many of you. And together, we're going to weave a world of myth and legend. You see, the walls of my tavern are lined with leather-bound books filled with blank pages. Once a week here at the tavern, we open a tome at dusk and fill its pages with stories. The world outside is dark and scary. It has its beauties, but they're harder to see at night. So for the time being, let's leave this world and go adventure, shall we? We are going to be diving into the main story. We've completed our prologue. We've developed an idea of what LIFO is, what LIFO is. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to begin with Chapter 1.
Yes! We've been waiting for 2 years for this.
Yep.
A seagull alights upon a shattered sky. Not that any part of the Orbituran sky isn't a little shattered. 900 years ago, or at least that's what experts estimate nowadays, was the corruption. A horrific, cataclysmic event in which a series of monstrous devils tore through the planes, ripping holes in space and binding the planes inextricably to each other. Now, Orbitura is suffused with magic from all sorts of other planes of existence. Ferda, overrun by the elemental planes of earth, air, fire, and water, roiling and twisting its landscape. Omercel, plagued by the Umbrech, a plane of death and shadow. Wielv, manipulated by the dream realm, the world where dreams become real, and now come to bear on the planet of Orbitura itself. Perai, surprisingly the only planisphere not influenced by any particular plane, albeit it is the smallest planisphere at that. Dekaya, playfully suffused with the magic and denizens of the Feriosht, a realm of fairies and pixies, the entities of myth and legend. And lastly, Lifo, as its residents call it, or Lifo as it's known in common, a place where the deep and eldritch horrors of El Océano Insondable, or the fathomless ocean, El Océano Insondable. I don't speak Spanish, but we are pulling a lot from that, and so it's going to take me a bit to get used to this.
So you can go ahead and cancel us.
Yeah. Or the fathomless ocean, a space beyond the known planes and realms, filled with nothing but distant starlight and beings which fail to obey the laws of the world and minds of Orbitura. Returning now to the seagull we addressed earlier. It flies, dodging and weaving amidst the cracks in the sky over the jungle-scape continents of Lifo below. A gust of wind blows it off course and into one of the portals. Passes through this twisted hole in space into purple-tinted darkness, seeing its home slowly drift away from it. And while it might flap and writhe, attempting to drift its way back home, the lack of both gravity and air become unfortunately apparent. Our poor seagull drifts away into the cold embrace of El Océano Insondable. While no one is there to hear or see it, it can be well expected that before this bird has even completely expired, some alien horror, tentacles, teeth, eyes, writhing, gnashing, gnawing, will doubtless consume it with little thought or mind to its abnormality within the fathomless ocean. Far below this tragic sky sit the nations of Domitia, the Throne Guard Concord, and the Quadratica. While I'm sure our story will eventually touch or even center on the Throne Guard and the Quadratica, our story begins in Domitia, specifically the city of Alano, the Scion's port, the home of His Majesty the Good Scion Verlon Charbon, third of his name, and ruler of the great kingdom of Domitia, which has stood over these lands since the earliest days. Specifically, we find ourselves in a tavern. Cliché, I know, but trust me here, what we are about to witness is no ordinary tavern meeting. I need everybody to roll d20s. You're not rolling initiative, but I do need to have something to determine how we're going to order this.
Gosh dang it, 20.
Gosh dang it. 4.
Oh, I got a 4 as well.
Let's go.
I got an 8.
You got an 8?
I got a 17.
You got a 17. Okay.
Should the 4s re-roll?
No, we'll get to that eventually. This tavern, dark wood, it's night, and so the sun has set. The city is alive and bustling, but this particular tavern is not incredibly full. Walking in, we see an entity. Sam, would you like to describe who we see entering this tavern, bursting through the door?
Bursting through the door.
You decide why he's bursting through the door.
Yeah. What you see before you is a human man. Blonde hair, golden eyes, wearing a mask that covers his eyes and nose. And you can see he's grinning kind of ear to ear. Very, very flamboyantly dressed. Throwing open the tavern doors, kind of puts his hands on his hips, kind of takes in that there's like hardly anyone here. This is Wim Dessous.
And as Wim Dessous bursts into the room and eventually makes his way to a table, we turn to the next entity who, probably five or so minutes following, steps in, and I believe it was a 17, correct? Mm-hmm. And Rachel, the reason I didn't need you to re-roll is because you're actually entering with Kent's character. So the two of you, you describe how you think you would probably be entering given where you are and why you are.
I don't know. Like, would your character enter in a special way?
You may just walk in. It's completely normal to just walk into a tavern.
I think Vale probably would, unless there was some reason why we weren't.
No.
Yeah.
If this is just a standard tavern, nothing special that we know about it.
Nothing in particular.
Fabulous.
You just walk in.
Yeah, you walk in.
And as you walk in and start to find your seats, tell us what about you, like, give us a basic description, but what about you would catch the eye of the average just tavern goer?
Would you like to go first?
No, go for it.
All right, so, well, probably the first thing that would catch the eye of the average person is, Vale is tall. He is about 6'4", 6'5". Very broad shoulders. He has jet black hair. It's straight. It's tied back in a loose queue. Not super long, but just a little bit long. And he's dressed in relatively common travelers / sailors clothes because we just came from a boat, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
well,
so yeah,
actually, sorry. You have just come off of a boat, or rather, you've just signed a contract.
Right. So he would have travelers type clothes focused on a little bit more maritime kind of thing. A pack over his back. And probably one of the other big things is that there's just a massive great axe slung across his back. That looks like the average person wouldn't be lifting it. This thing is huge. And the other thing is his arms are bare up to a little bit above the elbow, and on the one forearm you see this spiraling tattoo that kind of creeps up his arm and disappears under the sleeve.
And just while an average tavern patron might not notice it initially. By spiraling, what is this patterning? Is it just a blank spiral? Is it tribal style? What are we looking at here?
Oh man, I meant to ask you before we started recording. What would have made sense from Omercel? If that makes sense.
Well, depends on why you got the tattoo.
I'm thinking that he and his childhood friend have matching tattoos. Probably something of that relationship symbolizing it, that sort of thing.
Within Omercel, what you may find then is something in the realm of a like ink blot style spiral, and so this is sort of an abstract, I imagine, is what you're looking at.
Yeah, definitely more abstract, not super geometric or anything like that.
We're looking more at the concept of a double helix rather than a true double helix.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah.
But then entering either before, alongside, or quickly behind.
Yes, you see, considering how tall the veil is, as you watch him enter, I would say right behind, you notice a woman who, for an average woman's size, should look a lot shorter. So you can kind of guess that she's probably a little bit taller. She's 5'11", very, very dark skin. And she has locks all the way down to her waist, so very long, almost like sister locks, a little bit bigger, going down, and wearing more almost what she thinks would be pirate clothes, so very steampunk pirate look, a little bit, maybe trying a little too hard. So maybe more the has never really seen what life on the sea and maybe what a pirate looks like, so kind of just taking her best guess, but also trying to make it fashionable. Also, as she walks through, I would say maybe those that are a little bit closer to the light, or when she walks past any torchlight or any lantern light, there's a little something off about her skin and her hair. So it not almost imperceptibly a flash of color, but you can't quite figure out what that is. And I guess if you were to actually look in her face, something that does stand out, contrasting, is that she has pink eyes. So against her very dark skin, it tends to stand out, these pink eyes. And then as she walks in and kind of walks around the tavern, she sighs really big and smiles, and just kind of a look of calm and almost like a sense of home rushes over her as she walks into this tavern. And I'd say she just, kind of follows along with the veil, very much letting him kind of take the lead as far as where they sit and stuff, but she's just sitting and observing with a pleasant look on her face.
And Alex, what did you roll again?
8.
Okay, so you do barely beat out the 4. And so now our camera pans not to a new person entering, but to a person that has been seated at a table for quite some time now. Not intentionally, but somewhat out of just historical practice, honoring a time-honored tradition of every time he makes port. And Alex, would you please describe your character?
You see a sailor as a part of the that looks like he's a part. All of his garb looks like he's a part of the Navy. That being said, he doesn't wear it like a Navy official. You can tell he is not particularly concerned. Oftentimes, he doesn't carry himself with the importance or the gravity of a military person. He's very much lounging, a few buttons done, one more than you're comfortable with, coat open, just kind of sitting, nursing a big ol' bottle of rum, and you see that he is a tiefling. I believe we made some decisions that I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I believe that he has his skin tone is human, but he has large horns that kind of go back and into some black slicked hair that kind of disappear into it. And one, I don't remember which colors we decided, but I remember one of his eyes is a let's just say one of his eyes is like just a brown, and the others is a silver.
Yeah.
And he seems to just kind of, again, seems to be enjoying himself and just. Would he be with other people?
Well, the camera upon us all viewing who we see. And by the way, what is your name?
My name is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. And from Lorenzo, we pan over to find Christian.
So, not sitting at the table, but, or differently, coming from the bar, you hear a loud voice, a booming loud voice, and with 2 beers in his hand, 2 ales, walks over a rather middle-aged looking man, probably in his early 30s, very tall, very like kind of chiseled jaw, wearing a half plate or breastplate. Functionally, it's a chainmail, but like aesthetically, it's a breastplate. Wearing just normal silver, kind of polished, kind of run down. Obviously has been used, but bearing the insignia of the good scion. Kind of all over. On the plates, on the shoulders, on the chest. On his back, he has a long sword with a shield, and the shield also bearing the insignia of the scion. Strawberry blonde hair, green eyes, except that he wears an eye patch over one of the eyes. Over one of his eyes, like a really large eye patch that covers like a fourth of his face. Some scars on his face. And the very weird thing is that when he smiles, all of his teeth are like razor sharp, and his hands have like claws, and even his skin kind of looks, even though it's like he looks distinctly human, his skin looks very like almost sometimes it patches scaly. And he sits down next to Lorenzo, claps him on the back like real strong, and shoves a drink in his face. I actually have a picture that I'm gonna send in the group chat because I created the character.
For sure, yeah. Go ahead and send that in the group chat. But as you are doing that, I am going to call for, over this sort of 5 or 10 minutes as everybody is entering, I'm going to call for perception checks from everybody.
Oh no, not that.
That's something I'm good at.
That's something I'm not.
Except when my dice hate me.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah.
What level are we?
You are level 2.
That means our proficiency bonus is
2.
2.
So I rolled a 2 to a total of 1.
Yikes.
Well,
I rolled a 13.
Okay, so here, we're going to go one by one, sort of walking through what each of you got. We'll start with Vale, or the Vale, depending on who you talk to. Vale, regrettably, you get nothing with a 1.
Yep.
We'll move, at least from my perspective, up to Rachel and Straya. What did you roll?
I rolled a 13.
13.
Yeah.
All right, so Straya, I need you to roll a d4 twice.
Okay. D4 twice. A 3
Okay.
and a 1.
Okay. From there, please roll 2d6 for me.
Oh, gosh. Like back to back or 2d6 total?
Yeah, 2d6 total. Or, well, back to back, yeah.
Oh, back to back. Okay. So a 4
Okay.
and a 6.
Okay.
A dragon flies and burns the tavern.
Okay.
Oh, Alex, by the way, you get an additional d4 to this roll.
All right. So Straya, as you are getting into the tavern, you've been been in charge of taverns before, you've learned how to sort of listen for particular voices, listen for things, and you're looking around and you're recognizing a couple of figures. And you're just starting to listen to the way that the tavern is reacting to those people. And the first thing you pick up is a couple of people muttering, referring to the tiefling individual that we saw earlier, Lorenzo, who you know to be one of your crewmates on the Tides Unsleeping, and who you know to have been there for quite some time. And you hear this person just sort of out, like just barely within earshot, muttering about how he saved the captain's life.
Okay.
Furthermore, you just continue to keep listening, and someone else in that conversation sort of turns the focus away from Lorenzo and towards the man standing next to him with that eye patch, saying that he's wearing that eye patch because his other eye is a dream-woven eye that allows him to see other people's desires. So that's what you get from your perception check. Next, I'm going to keep moving up to Sam, Wim. What did you roll?
21.
Shoot.
What?
You're going to roll a d4 4 times.
D4 4 times. 3, 1, 3, 1.
Okay.
That's loud, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna roll on something else.
Go ahead and give me 4d6 then. And we'll do these one by one so that I don't have to remember all the results.
46.
Yep. So we'll start with the first one.
First one is a 3.
Okay, you also hear that conversation about how Lorenzo saved the captain's life.
6.
You also hear, following up the conversation about the eye patch, this conversation appears to be a group of people trying to one-up each other on biggest rumor. And the next rumor that comes through is that Lorenzo has a taste for human flesh. Go ahead and roll another d6.
6.
Yes, again, you get the eye patch. So you know,
Alex,
you hear the rumor about why that eye patch is. That's a dream woven eye. And the next one.
1.
And following the rumor about a taste for human flesh is a rumor about Lucien. That he, not just periodically, but continually appears in the dreams of others.
Interesting.
We're now going to move across to Lorenzo. What did you roll?
I got a 21 as well.
21. Okay, so you're also going to roll 4d4. So we'll start with doing. Give me your first d4.
Yep. I got a 4.
Okay. Give me a d6.
I got a 4 as well.
You are obviously not tuned into the conversation that is about you in this moment.
Yeah.
But the conversation that you do get tuned into is upon Wim entering this masked figure with golden hair and golden eyes, someone mentions having heard of a figure of his description and suggests that he is a foreign royal in disguise. Go ahead and give me another d4.
That is a 1.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a d6.
2.
You immediately hearing that basically, like, with interesting figures beginning to enter the tavern, chatter just begins to rise. You start trying to pick things out and trying to hear things. And one of the first things you hear following, okay, Royal in disguise, you hear someone talking about the crazy tall man who just entered alongside that relatively tall woman. And a rumor that that individual, that tall man, he's dead. That he is some sort of dead man walking. No details about how that works or if it's true. They believe it's true, and there's some clear convincing of that. There's a rumor that he's a dead man walking. Give me one more D4. Or rather, we'll do 2 more, but give me the next one. 2. Go ahead and give me a D6. This is going to be interesting.
6.
You catch the conversation about how your brother wears an eye patch over his eye because it's dream woven and allows people to see, or allows him to see deepest desires. Now, I'll let you decide with Christian at some point whether that's actually something you know the reality of.
Yeah.
But that's at least what you're hearing here. And one more D4.
3.
3. Go ahead and give me another D6.
6 again.
The next thing you get is returning. You turn your mind back to the conversation about Wim. You don't need to hear any more about your brother. The guy being dead, he's walking, is probably not true. You return to the conversation about this foreign royal. And this rumor passes that he is frantically searching for a way to access magic in the 10th sphere. That despite the massive failure that it has been at a societal level, and you all know this generally, that 10th level magic failed. It wasn't possible, and people have sort of abandoned it. But the rumor is that this particular foreign royal is not giving up on it yet. Next, Lucian. What'd you roll on your perception check?
I rolled a 15.
You rolled a 15. Okay, so you are going to give me 3d4. We'll start with the first one.
Okay. The first one's a 1.
Okay, go ahead and give me a d6.
6.
You hear the rumor that your brother has a taste for human flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me another d4.
That's a 1.
Again?
Yep.
I'm going to just tell you to re-roll that.
Okay. 2.
A 2. Go ahead and give me a d6.
5.
The next thing that comes up, and you're like, you see your brother sort of prick up to this, and so you begin to prick up to this, is because that sort of political mind in you begins to go working. And one of the things that you hear running about the room is that the theoretically dead man is being chased by a foreign power on charges of arson. Give me one more d4.
Okay. That would be... that'll be a 3.
That would be a 3. Okay. And go ahead and... Actually, there's only one more rumor left for you to discover about this, which is that this royal in disguise who is frantically searching for a way to access 10th level magic has a way to manipulate void fire, which is something that has surfaced recently. It is the thing that occurs when magic is uncontrolled or undirected. It simply burns any source of an ethereal anchor, burns the material on the other side of that, and no one has a way to control it. But the rumor is that this guy can.
Okay.
Those
I
are
love
the
that.
perception checks. This is all picked up over about 15 minutes of conversation. I believe 21s were our highest rolls, correct?
See.
And that was Wim, and Lorenzo. So here's what I need in this case. I need... Oh, man. I just need Lorenzo and Wim both to roll D20s. You want the lower number.
14.
15.
15. Okay. This is regrettable.
I am.
Story of my life.
Wim and Lorenzo, and really everybody, you notice, you just hear some like warbling of something, some warping thing coming from outside the tavern, just as the window of the tavern shatters and something has burst into the space. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh no.
Oh, dang it.
Also, I should know this.
Natural
Initiative
20.
is dexterity, right?
Initiative is dexterity mod, yes. Okay, we got a...
Natural
Okay.
20 to a 24.
Okay, so Wim's got a 20. Uh,
22 or 20, sorry.
okay. We have
Okay.
Lorenzo at 22. What do we have from Lucian?
An 18 to a total of 17.
Oh, you went negative dexterity mod. Shoot.
I had to.
I
had to.
Go ahead. We'll shift to Straya. What do you got?
I have. I rolled a 12 to an 11. I also.
Oh my word! You went negative dex mod too. Vale.
Oh, immediately
Let's
throws us
go.
into a skill challenge.
Vale. What do you got for me?
A 6.
Oh my word. Okay, this is actually
I
real.
rolled a 5.
There's an extent to which this is really funny to me now because I did ask for all of your initiatives in initiative order.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's.
Alex, one more thing for you.
Yeah.
Whenever you do an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw using wisdom, you add a d4 to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was
That's
the
great. I
nice
have a
of that's
minus
not
one.
gonna do anything for me.
Well, I have a wisdom of -1, so
Oh,
it might counterbalance.
hey,
it. So
Okay.
Oh. Wait. What is your stat? Is it intelligence?
charisma. I'm charisma.
Oh, your charisma.
So, top of initiative order, Wim. Players, would you do me a favor? Would you all go into the storage closet?
Yep.
Sure.
You're joking.
Not at all. Wim. As something warping, shatters the window, the dice tell a story. You see something very familiar to you. And you flash back. You're looking out from a large stadium of people, all looking down at a man and woman in the center of it, dressed in fine clothes. They're waving and smiling with a deep and profound pride. Ladies and gentlemen, the man begins. We are so delighted to welcome you to this display, the woman continues, of Perai's first spell of the 10th degree, they shout in unison. All begin to count down to the new year. 10, the crowd chants. The woman begins to weave arcane symbols in the air. 9, she sends them over to the man and he takes them and flips the overall shape inside out, tossing it back. 8, you remember that this magic is most beautiful when seen through arcane true sight. 7, the perspective shifts as magic begins to alter your perception. 6, you can now see the ethereal plane and can see over top of the man and woman casting their spell, their ethereal anchors expanding. 5, they are now tossing glyphs back and forth rapidly. It's all a bit much to handle. 4, there are sparks flying. You can feel the arcane static in the room ascending to immense levels. 3, you begin to see the form of the spell they've chosen to cast, a massive display of pyrotechnics ready to kick off the new year with a bang. 2, their ethereal anchors swell to sizes you could have never dreamed of, pulling incredible amounts of ether to power this feat. 1, and here it comes. You notice an assistant nearby, happy to be so close to the show. Happy New Year! Your eyes are fixated on their ethereal anchors. They expand. Everything goes quiet. They've done everything perfectly, and now they get their reward. The silence is broken by a noise which is so deeply alien to you that you feel the ripples in your soul. You see their anchors do something which you've never seen before, and you are certain no one should ever see. You see the anchors, these spherical representations of who they are in their non-physical essence, begin to split apart at the seam. You hear an eldritch, horrific, ripping noise. Their anchors become motionless. You hear gasps from around you, and you hear a young girl begin to weep. You look desperately around beyond the true sight to try and see the physical forms of the man and woman. As you find the physical world again, you see the charred and burnt form of the woman. Her clothes have been fried black and melted to her skin. Her rib cage appears to have exploded outward and split non-symmetrically, somewhat down the middle. Her jaw is split in half and her head is facing upwards, as though the explosion forced her to face her maker before she died. The man appears to have been simply reduced to ash. The assistant you noticed earlier lies unconscious on the ground beside what remains of the woman, his arm closest to her having been charred, as though he tried to reach out and help. As things remain silent and stationary, you see in the secondary ethereal vision something moving. The flayed ethereal anchor of the woman begins to twitch, and then it begins to spasm, and then it begins to flail wildly about. You look back to the physical to see that her form has changed. Instead of her body as it was before, you see a mass of charred and burnt flesh and bone roiling in a mostly sphere-like mass. It levitates above the ground for a moment before it shoots into the crowd, grinding into the stonework stadium. It moves wildly and uncontrollably about the space, randomly killing many in the crowd. You hear that same young girl weeping. You begin to run before you suddenly stop unexplainably. And you whip around. You see floating over you, no longer writhing and roiling, but corporeal as it was before, the woman's body. The eyes are black, aside from a pair of vacant orange irises which stare you down. In this moment, you know exactly what this being is. They are called Ravagers. They have been written about throughout all of history, legendary and horrendously destructive creatures, which appear only periodically to have any form of sentience. Otherwise, they are just mindless machines of destruction. You've known about them your whole life, and yet something about it doesn't sit right with you. And now I'm going to call the rest of our players back to the table. And with that, Wim, you return to the room. It is your turn in initiative, and you see this roiling mass of flesh and bone, charred and burnt black, wildly swinging about this room. What would you like to do with your turn?
Yeah. From where Wim is, he's going to flip over the table that he's sitting at.
Okay.
and just yell Ravager.
Yeah, just yelling Ravager at the top of your lungs, trying to alert other people to what's going on.
Do
Yeah.
we know that name?
Ravager is what this entity is called historically. It's a mythic being of absolute horrific and destruction and, just death.
Got it.
Anything else you want to
Yeah.
do with your turn, or do you just want to flip over the table and prepare?
He's going to kind of crouch down so that he's essentially putting the table between him and the creature.
Okay.
And then he will say Brace le vide and cast Mage Armor on himself.
Okay.
And you can see that it's sort of like a purplish after image.
That
And it
follows
follows
him.
his movements.
Yes. Next in initiative order, Lorenzo. Everybody? Back to the storage closet, except for
That makes
Lorenzo.
sense.
Yay!
Lorenzo, as you look around the room, immediately jumping into action, you see this warping and twisting entity. But out of the corner of your eye, you see this larger spatial form filled with starlight. And your mind flashes back. Beneath the main decks of the ship known as the Tides Unsleeping is Lorenzo Cadilla, deep in slumber. As the ship rocks and sways gently with the sea surrounding it, our focus shifts to Lorenzo's dreams. A field of bright pink heather and tall grasses reaches up to your fingertips. As you run your hand through the field, you feel a deep and warm connection to the earth below. The heather in front of you begins to make way for you as you walk, not evading you, but rather easing your passage while still clinging close to you, almost like the hug of a small child around their parents' legs. You look up to the sky and see a bright blue, beautiful sky. Not the shattered sky of Orbitura that you know, but clear and perfect. A few clouds are on the horizon, and you reach out to them, pulling them towards you, and you can shift and move them around, creating patterns and images as you please. How's Lorenzo feeling in this moment? What does he do?
It's the feeling you get when you're having a lucid dream you want to stay in, but you know it's going to end. It's that thought of, I like where I am and I know it's not going to be forever, and that is almost the weird mix of the inability to appreciate something good in the moment.
Yeah, for sure. And as you begin to think, this isn't going to last, in the blink of an eye, the sky changes, becoming dark. It is suddenly the middle of the night. You look up and see a multitude of stars. And when you look down to see the land beneath you again, you see it withering away and vanishing from existence until you are floating in vacuous space. An entity larger than life itself, made out of space and stars and nebula, comes into view, appearing from the farthest reaches of space in front of you, and now appears to be directly in front of you. You begin to panic as you remember this dream. You can see the entity beginning to open its mouth to speak. As fear wells up within you, you wake up in a cold sweat, breathing heavily. Beneath the main decks of a ship known as the Tides Unsleeping is Lorenzo Cadilla, no longer in slumber. Lorenzo, what do you do from here?
I look up Is this before everything went down with the ship?
This is, I think, after.
This is after. Okay. Ay, madre mía. Okay. He makes his way. What time of day is it? Is it time for him to like just start manning?
It's
the ship
still
like
the
normal?
middle of the night.
Okay. He might get out of bed and wander over, kind of tiptoeing over other sleeping shipmates, and kind of peer through one of the
Porthole.
holes on the side
Yeah.
of the ship, one of the portholes.
Yeah.
To kind of look at the water, look at the stars.
Yeah. Yeah. And as you're looking out, looking over the water, seeing the stars and their reflection on the ocean, you return to this moment in which you see this starlit entity. And I'm going to ask everybody to come back. As you all have come back into this room, wildly running about is that Ravager, but sort of appearing through a window and just beginning to exist in this space, more than truly entering, is about the upper half of a very large humanoid shape made of starlight and space and nebula. And I'll send y'all back to the storage room. Oh,
Okay,
and he's
where's-
here.
Where's Lorenzo in all of this?
Oh yeah, Lorenzo, you get your turn in initiative. I completely forgot about that.
yeah.
Yay! I will pull out my saber. I will curse, and I'm gonna look at Lucian. Have you seen anything like this before?
Have I? I feel like I have, right?
You have seen things like the spatial entity. You've never seen a Ravager in person.
Okay. I'm probably just gonna give you a big smile and start taking off my like shield and sword, and just give you a clap on the back and say, "Don't lose your don't lose your heart, little brother." And I'm just gonna, yeah, it's not my turn.
And I'm going to run.
Or sorry, shoot for the eyes. Go for the eyes.
I will. All right, and I'll pull out my saber, and I'm just gonna run at it with my sword.
Okay, you're going to make 2 attacks against, what are you targeting, the Ravager or the spatial entity?
The Ravager.
Okay, 100% go ahead and make your attacks against the Ravager.
That is an 17.
A 17 just hits the Ravager.
And then the other one doesn't hit then. That'll be a D8 plus my dexterity, correct?
It can be dexterity or strength, I believe, with
Dexterity.
with a saber, yeah.
That's going to be 6 points of damage.
Okay, sounds good. It will take 6 points of damage. And then we're going to move to Lucian's turn, and I'm going to ask everybody to go back in the storage closet. Lucian, you are looking around the tavern, seeing the sudden intensity that erupts. And your life is chaos. Constantly. Even your sleep is not a place of rest. And while nobody else has the capacity to realize this, and you don't have the capacity to voice it, there's a part of the back of your mind that knows that you are not awake. Up in the foreign lands of Weelv, Lucien Kadia Trudeau, ambassador of the Scion, walks the streets absent-mindedly scanning. This is about 2 months ago or so. Lucien, last night you dreamt of a young Minotaur girl, maybe 6 or 7 years of age, with strawberry blonde fur. Ironically, with your strawberry blonde hair. She was in desperate search of this toy, a mechanized golden spider, She'd drawn pictures of it and was asking around her house if anybody had seen it, but nobody had. This is not uncommon for you. You often have dreams in which others are running into predicaments. Lucian, it is the next day, and you're just walking. What do you think you're doing in response to this dream?
So I dreamt that she was running around the house looking for the doll.
Correct.
Okay. Do I remember what the house looks like?
You can remember certainly the rough period that it would have been built in just by looking at, like you can make some guesses about what it would look like from the outside based on what you would have seen through windows. You can guess roughly where it would be in the town, and so you could absolutely begin to make your way to it.
Okay. Probably, I'm guessing that I'm out in the street just kind of on some kind of errand from my master.
Yeah.
Or teacher or whatever I would call him.
Sensei.
Sensei. So I'd probably very leisurely, not necessarily making it seem like I'm not going out of my way, but very much going out of my way to try and find that house.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay, I will guidance myself.
Yeah, for sure.
And I have companion in dreams, so I will get 2d4s for this roll.
Sounds good.
Yep.
You're going to accidentally skill monkey this entire game again.
Hopefully not. That will be a 15. Very funny. It rolled an 18 and then gave me a 4.
Oh.
Very odd. I guess it bumped into each other.
I was going to say sometimes the dice on that roller. So total of 15?
Total of 15.
Total of 15. 15's enough for you to not just recognize the house, but you recognize now a golden spider. And you're realizing that this was not just a generic golden spider. This spider was probably a toy in the style of the home of and the symbol of the Emperor Kujin, who is emperor over Weelv.
Oh, wow.
And what you are likely looking at and what you likely dreamt of was his daughter.
Okay. So I very much find their house because it's probably the biggest house in the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you very quickly realize, in the dream we only explored a small portion of that mansion.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is that the spider is it's not just like a common toy, it's something that was crafted for her.
Yeah, you believe that this is something that was crafted specifically for this girl.
Okay. Would my station as ambassador have let me into the house of...
You would have the capacity, absolutely, to get into the Emperor's home as an ambassador. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will on the way there pick up a gift.
Yeah.
I will be on the lookout for like something that resembles that spider, but again, I feel like what she had was like handcrafted.
Likely. Go ahead and give me another perception check or an investigation check if you want to try and find something that would be close to what she had.
Yeah, obviously I'd rather do a perception check.
Yeah, I figured.
And I did get I got a 28.
So 28s don't make unique things get duplicated.
I know, but still,
what a 28 will 100% do is make it so that it is not difficult for you to find something which very closely resembles. That golden spider is not an uncommon thing to find in Weelv. There's a lot of propaganda, stuff. It's not hard to find something that at least resembles it.
So yeah, on the way I will pick up that and then just some, I don't know what's custom to Vielva, so probably some like tea or chocolates or flowers, whatever, right?
Tea 100% is the big thing that you would bring to the Emperor.
I will bring my sensei's favorite tea, and then I will also bring some flowers for the Emperor's wife.
Okay.
Or concubine or whoever. And yeah, I'll just make my way to their house.
100%.
On the way, still like picking up errands, picking up whatever I needed to
Yeah.
do for the day.
And as you make your way towards the palace, you continue to do as you have always done, where when you see a need in a dream to which you get connected, you do what you can to help fill that need. And now we return to the present. And I'm going to invite everybody to come back again. So Lucian, the spatial entity that has sort of appeared here, as well as that roiling ball, are both in front of you. What would you like to do with your turn?
Remembering everything, probably my smile will just fade a little bit and then grow brighter again. And I will probably just mutter under my breath, you're not the only one who's restless around here. And I will cast Bless on myself, on Lucian, on Enzo, and on Wim, who I saw also attack the entity.
Okay,
So
yes. Yeah, the
I'll
three
just-
people that you know are active in this combat.
Yeah. So the way that I kind of am going to do it is just run up to Lucian, smack him in the back, and then look at Wim and just wink at him.
Yeah, for sure.
And drawing my sword and shield, I'm just going to start bashing them into each other, trying to get the star entity's
Attention,
attention on me.
for sure.
And just like calling its mom fat or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Next in initiative order, we're going to move to Straya. Straya. I'm just going to have everybody leave, and then we'll do a little connect.
Okay.
Vale, you can stick around, though. The two of you are watching chaos break out in front of you. These two weird, seemingly unrelated entities showing up in space. And you guys see in the corner and also entering from the side and coming down, almost as though standing up from the bar and showing up in the room, sort of appearing from all around you. This older man in the center in black robes with white, gold, and red filigree ornamentation. And on either side, what you both know to be blood hunters. One with a torch and one with an executioner's axe. And at seeing these things, your mind flashes back. In the gray and drab lands of Omersel, we see a clearing in a forest of evergreen trees just outside of a small village. It is early evening, and the denizens of this village have gathered for a spectacle, an execution. While such occurrences are already uncommon in a village this small, this execution is unique in that it is a dual execution. And for this, the entire town comes out. We see a man, wizened and old, a balding head and a gray beard, dressed in black robes with white, gold, and red ornamentation and stitching and filigree. He stands atop a makeshift podium, or a makeshift stage with a podium in front of him, and speaks with a commanding voice. Countrymen and children of Eidos, we have come here today because our ranks have been infiltrated by servants of wickedness. As he speaks, we see a pyre of wood, dry as a bone, which Straya is being led to stand upon. Furthermore, about 20 feet from the pyre, we see an executioner's block, which Vale is being forced to drape his neck over. Next to both of these, we see humanoid figures, dressed in leather armors, with brown leather fins extending off the back of the forearms, and wearing plated leather masks, with nothing more to indicate any aspect of humanity than two angled, four-sided slits through which one might gaze out upon a world from which they have been separated. The ghost slayers, the blood hunters, stare blankly forward. Estrella Nakia Verla Morales, you have been charged and convicted with committing the most heinous crime of witchcraft, for which the punishment is incineration until death on a witch's pyre. Vale, you have been charged and convicted with the most heinous crime of murder, the murder of our dear and now departed Father Ermolai, for which the punishment is the swift and removal of one's head from the body. Good Lord Aedos, take these sinners into your loving arms. In their final moments, might they repent and find you. May their deaths purge your creation of the destruction they have wrought. His eyes turn to the Ghost Slayer wielding the executioner axe, as well as the one holding the torch and standing by your pyre, Straya. You see him open his mouth to speak again, but in this moment, Straya, you have maneuvered your hands free to the point where you could perform the somatic components of a spell. What would you both do as you know your death is incoming?
I know what I'm going to do, so if you need a second, I can go first.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So in this moment, Vale's head is down, and probably nobody can see it, maybe aside from the smallest child watching. But a grin spreads across his face. And you see his hair, I'm assuming, has probably been, like, spread out of, like, you know, they want a clear line, right? So you just see, it almost looks like an optical illusion at first, but all of a sudden, wisps of black smoke floating off of his hair. And then it gets more, and it begins to billow, and if somebody could see his eyes, they've gone from a deep blue to jet black. And there is just smoke pouring out of his eyes. And on his back, these spectral wings shoot out. And they look like the wings of an eagle that has been stripped of all, or actually, more properly, the wings of an angel that have been stripped of all feathers and all skin. And I need the executioner to make a saving throw.
There's no need. Everyone around you immediately becomes frightened. Straya.
There, in that moment, the person coming towards the pyre is going to get hit with, Straya will open her mouth and then do some of her breath weapon, which...
Dang!
So,
right out the gate.
Right out the gate. Opens her mouth and releases this, like, green kind of cloud fume that emanates 15 feet in all directions. And they have to make a saving throw as well.
No need. These are already things that have occurred. This is narrative. We don't need to play with mechanics here. You guys are just doing your thing. This guard begins to choke, drops the torch, which actually I will have one roll. Estrella, roll. You want high.
Is it the torch is dropping?
This is to see whether it lands on the wood or lands far enough away that it won't catch.
Oh, I was gonna say in that moment, if possible, she uses her telekinetic ability and just shoves it so that it does land.
Oh yeah, 100%. Then for sure, no need. You make sure that torch doesn't come near you as he drops it and reaches for his throat. Choking on this thick fog and fume that has been poured out in front of him. Very quickly, Vale, it's not hard for you to break these bonds. You were here more for the spectacle.
Exactly. And he stands up, and I'm assuming the executioners just run away at this point.
Precisely.
Or at least backed up significantly.
Yes.
And he looks at the Lord overseeing this, and still in this terrifying visage, and now everybody can see the smoke coming off of his hair just kind of billows off, but it's almost like he's crying black tears that turn to smoke before they fall. Like they fall, and then it's just like,
yeah.
And so he just is this spectral image.
Yeah.
And he looks at the Lord and just says, Deus idici venerti. Oh gosh, I suck at Latin. Ego istus manus Dei. And anybody who knows this language, which I'm assuming many in the crowd probably would, it translates to Judgment Day has come and I am the righteous hand of God. And he's just going to slowly and deliberately walk towards the Lord of this of this city, and
Yeah. As you walk towards this head priest, and as Straya, it is not hard for you to escape. You maneuvered your hands to the point where you could perform a spell. It's not hard to cast Magic Missile. Those things can't miss.
Yeah.
The two of you are able to escape your bonds. The town goes running. Vale, even for your speed and your skill, you are not able to catch this priest.
Mm-hmm.
They all escape alive, but you two are left standing in the clearing of a forest where you, 5 minutes ago, were supposed to die. And with that, I'm going to invite everybody back to the table. And with that, we are going to finish this episode as 3 more figures appear. We're going to come back to that.
I see,
As
I see.
3 more figures appear in this fight to what we know as blood hunters, and this priest of some deity in robes that you all do not recognize, black with white, gold, and red filigree. And we'll return next episode, next chapter, to complete this fight. Before we truly finish this episode, does anybody have anything they want to plug?
Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and other places.
It's Flightless Birds, right?
Flightless Birds. Maybe hold my action. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Anything else people want to plug?
Always check out Multi Nerds.
Multi Nerds.
Hey.
Kent?
Come watch Moody and D.
Come watch
Alex
Moody and
now.
D. Yes.
Yep. If you want other D&D content that is also clean, look for Moody and D.
Yes.
If you want other D&D content that's various other things, look for Hold My Action.
Yeah. Sam, got anything?
Yeah, I'm on Substack, samuelbowen.substack.com. I'm putting out short stories there.
Nice.
Check it out.
And as always, please check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Tavern of Tomes, capital T in Tavern and Tomes. And with that, we just want to thank you all for joining us. You are always welcome here at the Tavern, and come back next week because this story is not over yet. We love you all. Good night.
Good night.